This place is gonna be hot tonight. Look at my nose. Ah, let me just give people a little time to log in and just have a conversation. Anyone here tonight? Oh, I'm just giving you guys a chance to join me on my little live tonight. Good night, English King Jason. My throat is not that well. I don't know what happened. I left home this afternoon with my throat feeling all good and nice. But now it's feeling a little sore. Anyway, I was supposed to come on Friday night to chat with you, and I did not get to do so. So I not too long came in, and I thought that, let me just do a live tonight. And considering my throat is feeling a little funny, but just in case it gets worse, I would have already gotten the live video for the week out of the way. So guys, good night. From time to time you might see me kind of clearing my throat, so please excuse that. This is not a planned topic, but I just jot down a few notes here. So we're going to chat a little bit, and remember to put your comments and your thoughts in the comment section. I'm hoping that I will be able to see them. You are welcome to ask questions. I do not promise that I'll know all the answers and that my answers will be what you want to hear, but I try my best to respond. All right, so we're going to talk now. So the topic tonight is no one can make you feel inferior unless you allow them to. And a lot of us, we are struggling with confidence, with self-love, with self-confidence. And because of this, we often allow other people to tread on us. We also sometimes, because of the lack of self-confidence, we do not venture out into things that we would love to do. We are shy. We do not want to meet people. We might need help and we do not know how to ask for it. We might be in a relationship and we accept anything that the other person throws out at us. But I just want to tell you today that no one can make you feel inferior unless you allow them to. And it goes both ways, because there are tyrants in society who believe that because of their surnames and because of their titles and because of their financial status, that they can look at you and they can just treat you anyhow. And it's like one of the things they do is that they attach who they are with what they do. And they come at you and you feeling as if, well, you do not have the ability, you do not have what it takes or the confidence it takes to respond to that person. So you allow them to cheat you anyhow. And I just want to go back to one time I was engaged in, I actually witnessed something with somebody else. I went somewhere with a friend of mine, and during the whole thing, the friend of mine, somebody was actually attacking him. And then even though he's a man and he's all bigger than me, he was like this kind of quiet person. Well, I kind of mouthy, so I looked at the situation and I said, no, you can't do him like that, because he didn't do you anything. And during the whole altercation, this person just, it's like he came into the whole scene and he's looking at me and he's asking me, do you know who I am? And I looked at him and I laughed and I said, yes, I know who you are. But the question is, do you know who I am? When I asked him that question, I guess he looked, because you see, I'm looking like this and I'm looking all quiet and docile. and he's thinking that because he is top class in society in terms of his job and whatever he was doing, and he never heard of me, I'm not popular, that he thought at the time that he can just start, do you know who I am? I'm like, yeah, I know, but the question is, do you know who I am? So I just wanted to make that example, because oftentimes people use their positions to really intimidate you. But I am encouraging you to never let anyone make you feel so inferior that they intimidate you. When you are in the right, you stand up for your right. It doesn't always mean that you will curse and that you will fight, but it means that you never allow anyone, because of their position, to walk on you and trample you and intimidate you. There are times when you walk away, but there are times when you have to stand up for your right. You just have to know when to. So I didn't let him, because my thing is that my friend was not able to stand up for himself. And had I not intervened, even though at the time I think I was about 25 years old, and he was somebody in their 30s, and he wasn't able to stand up for himself. But we both of us went to that event together, and I wasn't about to allow anyone to do him anything just because they were a topper in society. So you have to stand for your rights. So how do you prevent anyone from making you feel inferior? It's about building self-confidence. You have to try and build self-confidence. It's about getting to know who you are at the deepest level. And many times because we do not know who we are, we are not able to love ourselves, and so we tolerate any behavior from anyone. So we have to learn to love and appreciate ourselves from at the deepest level. And for me, in identifying who I am, I look to God, because he created me in his own image, and that in itself makes me feel confident in myself, because God has created me unique in his own image, and there is no other person like me on the planet Earth. And it doesn't mean that there wouldn't be other people with higher positions, yes, but that is not it. At the deepest level, know that you are worthy regardless to what you have. And you have to take the limitations. So the first thing you have to do is to get to know yourself at the deepest level. And you have to take the limitations out of your mind. Somebody's disrupting my video here. Just give me one moment, please. Let me just put this thing on silence. Thank you. All right. Okay. So you have to know who you are. You have to know who you are at the deepest level. And two, you have to take the limitations off your mind. And when I say take the limitations, I'm talking about if you are born into a household where you lack, whether financially or otherwise, this might make you feel inferior, and it might make you feel hopeless. But you have to find a way to get past your current situation. Do not let your current situation define who you want to be and who you are. Separate your situation from who you are. You were just unfortunate to maybe born in a home where your mother couldn't give you this, and your father couldn't give you the things that you need, where you probably lack financially, but it doesn't mean that is all there is to your life. So you have to take the limitations off your mind. Just as how other people acquire, whether knowledge or positions or financial wealth, you can, maybe not as much as they have, but you can acquire enough wealth if you just change your mentality, taking the limitations. Do not accept poverty. Do not even think that you are poor. Do not call yourself poor. Do not call yourself broken. Do not call yourself any of that. Take your the limitation. Expect good things to happen, and dream big, and go after your goals. Maybe not in one go, because some people they tend to want to get rich quick, but maybe in taking tiny steps. What is it that you want to do? What is it that you envision for yourself? So you take in the limitations. You are not limited by your temporary situation. Just remember that. 3, always remember that it is beautiful to grow. There was a time in my life when I accepted any treatment from anyone because I did not know my worth. I was not knowledgeable in so many ways, and I was not able to express my inner emotions and the way I feel. And because of that, I just felt intimidated, and I just valued others above myself. So just know that it is beautiful to grow. So if you are in a situation where you do not feel motivated, just imagine yourself growing and becoming more beautiful. And I'm not just talking about physical beauty, but beauty in the sense of how you express yourself, how you treat yourself, how you relate to yourself, and how you relate to others. Beauty in the sense that when you see something and you want to go for it, that you're not intimidated by circumstances or anyone. And the fourth point is to set some standards that will develop you in a way you will be proud of. Many times and you see, the thing is, when we were born, we grow into, we were born into families, and we tend to take on the identity of whoever. But as we get older, we are experiencing the world on a personal level. And while we can learn from others, sometimes we have to experience in order to learn. And because of that, we have to be able to set certain standards and principles that we live our lives by. So it's like you're not gonna be here, there, and everywhere. You're not gonna be falling for everything. And the Bible says that where there is no vision, the people perish. And it's the same way for your life. When you do not have a vision, when you do not have standards, when you do not stand for something, you fall for anything. You are here, there, and all over the place, and you are basically double-minded. And when you're double-minded, is that you cannot achieve anything. When you're double-minded, you have to make up your mind. So set some principles. What are the principles that you want to live by? What is it that I want to become? Who do I want to become? Do I want to be someone who is honest, full of integrity, who is candid and kind, charitable, but at the same time have a backbone that I can stand up and not let anyone walk over me? What kind of person do you want to be? So you have to be able to set some standards so that you are policing yourself. That's a term. You're policing yourself. You do not need anyone to tell you, hey, you're not living right, because you yourself, you know the standards. You set certain standards, and you know that you're telling yourself you're not going to deviate from these standards. You, regardless of what is happening in my life, this is what I'm going to do with my life, and these are the standards that I am going to live by. And setting those standards help you to live in a way that you become proud of yourself, and you have to be proud of yourself. And I want to go back and talk about, sometimes we value people more than we value ourselves. We allow them to treat us in ways we do not like because we think that they are above us. So when you set standards, you're gonna see yourself growing beautifully. And when you do that, even people who have more money than you, who have more material things than you, you're not probably not going to want them in your space just because they have money, but because of their integrity. So you're going to be able to choose the people in your life based on your standards and not based on what they have. And it's so important when we get to that stage in our lives where we can actually select people in our lives because of who they are and not because of what they have. So you're not going to be wanting friends just because they have all the money in the world, just because they can give you a job. But you're genuinely looking beyond that, and you are attracting people to you who are like-minded, who have similar personality and traits, and who value the same things. And that makes life beautiful. Right? And say people define and remember. Good hello, Stanford Junior Coffee. Hello. Good night. Thanks for listening. And so remember, people define, and this is one of the things we often do. We define ourselves by what we do. And if we are stripped of these titles, then we become depressed. So it's dangerous when you define yourself by what you do. So, for instance, if I am a nurse and every time I am going around, I'm saying, oh, I'm a nurse, so you should treat me this, oh, I'm whatever, oh, I'm what. Let's say I lose my nursing license, God forbid. Then I basically would not have an identity, because what? I identified myself based on my job description or my career. So it's important that you know who you are at the deepest level, and not identify and define yourself by money, by your title, by material things. Because if you lose, God forbid that you lose these things, you will lose yourself, because you are all engulfed in those things. Know yourself outside of these things, because who are you without these things? Just ask yourself, who do I want to be without these things? So that if you lose them, you're not going to go insane, because you know who you are. Your money does not define you. Your house does not define you. So when you meet people, you don't have to brag and say, hey, look, I have this money, I have this car, I have that. You don't need to push these things. You're allowing people to get to know you based on who you are at the core. It's so important that we do that, because people, as I said before, we define ourselves by what we do. And if we are stripped of these titles or whatever we have, then we cannot cope. So know yourself at the deepest level. So again, I just want to go recap. So the topic tonight is, no one can make you feel inferior unless you allow them to. So some of the things that you need to do in order to build your self-confidence to the point where, regardless to what people have, that you're able to stand up and know who you are, is one, building your self-confidence, getting to know yourself at the deepest level, loving yourself, appreciating yourself, knowing that you are beautifully, wonderfully, and uniquely made by the Creator. And knowing that growing is rewarding. So knowing that it is beautiful to grow. It is beautiful, because when you grow, when you learn new things, when you get out of your comfort zone. You see what I'm doing here? There was a point in my time when I couldn't come before on this thing, even from this distance. I couldn't actually come on here and do a live video, because I was so nervous. I was so so intimidated, because I really lacked the self-confidence. So whatever area in your life that you're lacking in self-confidence and you're feeling fearful about, address that by finding out, what is it that I can do to address these fears? Are you lacking in communication skills? Are you whatever? Do you need to go back to school to do whatever subject? What is it that you need to do to grow and to apply that knowledge? Whenever whatever knowledge you get, you apply it. Sometimes it means practicing, because that's what I did in order to get comfortable on here. I actually, when I started, if you see the first video that I did, you will see actually how uncomfortable I was. So the things that you are uncomfortable with, address them. Step out of your comfort zone, knowing that at the end of the day, it is so beautiful to grow. It is so beautiful to grow. It is so beautiful to grow. When you grow, you gain confidence. You're more able to express yourself. You're more able to give of yourself. You're more able to love others because you love yourself. So that's the third thing. Take it, and the third tip now is take the limitations off your mind. So regardless of what circumstances you are in, regardless to your financial status, regardless to whatever job you do, do not let that stop you from expecting the best and for going after the best. Follow your dreams, set your goals, pursue whatever. You don't have to fight for all the riches, but at the same time, you must live a satisfying life. And the only how you can do that is to take the limitations off your mind and know that your circumstances do not decide where you're going to be. It does not determine where you're going to be. And the next point is to set some standards. It's so important. I think this should be one of the first points in terms of setting standards, because when you start setting these standards, then you're able to police yourself so that you do not need a police to come and tell you, or you do not need anybody to tell you, hey, you're not living right, because you are constantly on guard about what you do and how you represent yourself. You are not only talking, but you're walking the talk. And it's not meaning that you're perfect, because I am not perfect, but the thing is to live as much as possible by those standards that you set for yourself, and do not value anyone above yourself. Just remember that we are all equal. Maybe we have different things. Maybe at the deepest level, we are all human beings, and that makes the playing field level. It doesn't matter what others have. Do not tell yourself that you're inferior because of what other people have. Okay? And these are some of the tips that I really wanted to bring out, guys. I am not going to stay on here any longer. My throat is a little bit buggish, and so I just want to go sip something a little warm and get myself off of here. Guys, I just want to thank you for viewing. Andre Bruns, you are late, but I just want to say thanks for those. Ronette Henry Moffat, that's so true. Amen. And Aseri Ann, you speaks volume, hon. It was nice. See, I think it's you I saw today. It was nice seeing you, Sherry Ann. And let me just see who is here. Guys, I just want to thank you for viewing, for listening. And remember, you can put your comments. You can share your views in the comment section below. Leon Charles, yes. True. Linus Holder, yes. He said true. Guys, Leon Charles, great topic. Thank you very much. Blessings, Marvin Bob. Blessings to you too. And Damian Moore, you are blessed, and so are you. Thank you very much. Just to be alive, we are blessed. Damian Moore said, long time. Yes, I do a video every Friday. I did one last week I think it was Thursday. And Donnie Collins, good night to you guys. Good night to everybody who is watching. I really appreciate it. And if you do not learn anything else from what I've said, is that it is beautiful to grow, because when you grow, then you know who you are, and so you do not tolerate anyone that treats you less than you feel that you deserve to be treated. Just know that. So no one can make you feel inferior unless you allow it. But oftentimes we allow it because we do not know who we are. We allow it because we lack knowledge, we lack self-confidence, we do not know our self-worth. So we just allow people based on their status, financially or otherwise, to treat us as they want to treat us. And for me, it's all about respecting a person. So even if you try as much as possible to respect others and expect that same respect from them, and that's just it, because at the deepest level, we're all humans and we are worthy. We are worthy. All right, guys. Leon Charles, you are welcome, and take care, guys. I'm out of here. Have a beautiful rest of the weekend. All right, take care now, and thanks for watching.